All right, what is up, y'all? Welcome back again. I'm very loud in the PA right now.
So loud.
Bumping right now.
I am bumping in the PA, but that's all right. We'll get that worked out. In the meantime, welcome back again to Momentum 2025. Thanks for hanging out while we switched over games. I'm still happy by 3. This is still
stuff.
MomoCon 2025, which is still bumping. Saturday has been
25?
amazing.
Oh my gosh.
People look great. The cosplays have been
Unreal.
gorgeous.
Unreal.
I've seen some incredible things, though I still think my cosplay of the event award goes to guy wearing a teal swim cap and 2 pool noodles as Miku.
Nice.
That is peak.
Budget Miku.
Budget
Mad
Miku.
respect.
It's been amazing. I saw him again today.
Really good.
Good for them.
But we are hanging out, a couple of us staff folks, to show off one of our sponsored games, Demon Tides. And we are joined by Ben Miller, one of the devs, the lead programmer of Demon Tides. So, Ben, if you want to start by introducing yourself, we should be able to hear you.
Hey, yeah, I'm Ben, lead programmer. Shoot, that kind of covers, it covers everything. So part of the team, Fabraz, working on Demon Tides. Excited to see the race and just take in the energy.
Yeah.
We got energy.
Before we get started,
Momentum,
I will.
if you will.
We have momentum.
My God, they just said it. They said the thing. Sorry.
Zen and Bridgette, I will let you introduce yourselves, but first, I do want to remind both people in chat and people out there that we are raising money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We are at $906.96. Nice and also nice.
Okay,
So
906.
true.
So,
But if we get to $1,000, we will catch a shiny Pokemon in the Pokemon Crystal Randomizer later. So
Shiny Pokemon.
if you want us to catch that shiny and make Limey hunt down and catch a shiny,
Well,
make sure you get those donations
oh my
in.
gosh, I wonder which one it's going to be.
Oh, is there always one in Crystal? I haven't played Crystal.
Yeah, so Crystal has a
It's not
guaranteed
shiny
red
hunt.
Gyarados.
Oh.
But because it's a randomizer, we don't know
It'll
what
be
to
any-
actually
We don't know
roll
what
into.
Pokemon it's
But
going
it
to be.
remains shiny every
Oh, interesting.
We are
Yeah.
not making somebody shiny hunt during this event. We have to finish.
Can you imagine? We'll just have a second stream in the background, like lower left the whole time.
I figured there was some like
Subway Surfers on
glitch
the
to
other
get
side of
one
the screen.
consistently-ish. But yeah, so you normally in the randomizer would just kill it and move on with your life, but killing a shiny is
Run it.
sad. So if you want to make sure we catch
Kill or
that,
save the animals, chat. Come on.
make sure you get those donations in.
The illusion of choice.
We only have Demon Tides, and then one more run after that to make that happen.
Splatoon side
So
order.
let's get on it, folks. But yeah, with all that charity stuff out of the way, let's introduce our runners and get into some Demon Tides.
No, please, after you. You need all the help you can get. Come on.
All right, hello again. I've been on stage a lot more than I anticipated. My name is Xenadir, and of course I'm joined by...
Hi, I'm Bridgette.
There we go.
I'm also up here. We're playing Demon Tides. We're racing.
Yeah,
Do
that
we,
was...
Do we have a metric for how this is going to go? How we're winning?
So we're money matching this now?
We
I feel like
are
it needs to
money
be
matching
clarified
this?
before anything else.
Yeah. There's money on the line for charity. For charity.
And we are practiced, but it was more of a fresh kind of thing to make it a race, to make it a little more interactive and see as much of the game as possible in the 30 to 40 minutes we have. There is technically a demo percent run that's like 12 minutes of pure movement.
What?
Did not have time to learn that one, so we're going to spend the 30 to 40 minutes exploring whatever directions we may. There's several islands we're going to visit, if not some side areas potentially as well. You're going to collect a bunch of items. We're going to try to open chests. There's cog gears to grab as well. We're effectively at the end going to just see who's got a higher total as best as we can quickly phone or mental math that, and the loser is going to donate $100 to St. Jude right after that, or when we deem is best to drop it into the incentive bucket, because we can strategize that. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I am on a fresh save file.
You and me both.
If you are ready, we can start. Your settings are set to skip cutscenes and tutorial.
Let's
double check. Which is great accessibility. I'm a big fan of that being in here.
Yeah,
There's also
huge. Love it.
next out. Yep, there we go. Skip cutscene, skip tutorial. Do you have your gamer name on?
Can I turn my gamer name on?
Yeah, you can choose your streamer name.
Streamer name. Oh,
Your
Make it
custom username. Should be like Waffles or something. you know?
Waffles. What do you want it to be?
I don't know. What's your streamer name?
I don't stream.
Oh, okay. What's your gamer name?
I do my.
Strawberry.
Yeah, there we go.
Inspired
That's
4.
me.
Inspired 4.
Thank you. I'm a gamer. Like I have to.
True. That's true.
Congratulations on all the gaming.
Thank you. Thank you. I
We've
really
been
tried.
gaming. All right, if you are ready, I am ready, and we can count in tech. Good.
I think so. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna kick this off. You have your save file selected. I don't want to accidentally
Yeah,
press it before
I'm
you're ready.
But then it
All right,
starts.
3, 2, 1, go. Never mind, it didn't.
No,
I was right. All right,
all right.
that's fine. I'll
You
wait
need all
until
the
yours
helping
is
you
in.
can. No,
that's
go,
true.
Go,
Oh,
please.
what?
Please.
Okay, you were talking smack backstage, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna actually be able to win this or not. But now I feel like I really have to try hard at this. It's gonna be interesting how much I end up leaning without even realizing it. And my buttons need to be changed real quick. Ben, our lovely dev on the couch, can you tell us about what's gone into making this game while I try to mess with my sensitivity and inputs?
Yeah, so broadly speaking, this is a huge open world expressive platformer, big focus on the movement and movement and giving you lots of ways to navigate any level or gap or challenge and just have, a lot of choice that you can be very expressive with how you actually do it. Then combine that with the huge open world that we have discrete levels, but they're all kind of separate into these islands that you can move between smoothly with little goodies hidden around in every corner.
All right, I have my inputs correct this time. I forgot I needed to do that beforehand. That is okay. I also had an absolutely abysmal start for Monster Hunter, and I still pulled something off, so I'm hopeful here. Happy. I'm sorry to subtweet you about that one.
Nah, you're good. You know what? Sometimes you get sniped 3 times in a row. It happens.
You know what? I've been told fish fear me.
That's showbiz.
Which is not the tweet I expected in my week. All right. Where did you start, Split Islands?
Radio towers.
Oh, wow, okay.
I like this one.
Yeah, the
I like
like
this one.
BRC vibes on the grinds
All right.
looks real fun.
Which, funny enough, there was a station playing Bomb Rush Cyberpunk that I walked past
Let's go.
yesterday, and Limey...
Oh yeah, Limey was
just-
trying to get out of bounds on it today.
Yeah, Limey just walked up and was like, I'm going to speedrun something real quick. I was like,
Rad.
oh, okay. Oh, wow, that was faster.
That's how
than
these events tend to go, you know?
What's the first thing I rolled? Spin Whirlwind, which I actually will use. What's cool is we can pick up ability talismans that augment like our abilities to jump around. So by Spin Form, now I can make a Whirlwind out of it, which is super helpful for like recovery and also boosting myself a little bit. When
Yeah, it gives you
I
a bit more airtime.
Yeah, remember to use it. There's like been a couple times I'm like, this is the handiest thing I've run into.
For sure. I mean, it's one of the things I was very curious of, like, actually seeing a race for this, because routing came pretty quickly. Like, it's not just where you can get the most items, but when you get them and what actually gives you an advantage that opens up other paths or playstyle you'd be going for.
I'll fully admit I don't have much of a route.
Yeah, it's definitely like going off vibes. So I was like, oh, this is the one I like starting with. And also, this island will get me some drip that I like. And ironically, drip percent.
Love that.
I love character customization in all
Oh
my
my
games.
gosh.
Fashion
Yeah,
is the true
we
end
were
game.
Zen and I's like first conversation about this game was how the jeans with one long leg all ripped
Yes.
up and one short leg is absolutely
That was
peak
also
fashion.
immediately what
Yeah,
I gravitated
I saw
towards,
your
yeah.
save file.
Peak fashion.
We tried to lean hard into the drip for this one of just lots of different styles, and hopefully there's something for that speaks to someone.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool to like. I mean, even just watching these two who have had like a couple days to learn the movement, like it still looks like a game that schmoves. Like
That was really close.
you don't
Sorry.
have to be a really, really great player for this to feel and look good, which is not easy to do. A lot of games only kind of look and feel good once you're good at it.
Yeah, no, this is like very nice to pick up. Like it feels good to learn.
We were talking about it backstage actually just shortly before this, and I was like, you know what? The first day was a little rough, but I was also playing it on a plane and in an airport, stressed out of my mind. And then after like a day or two to let what I knew settled, it was really good. Like I picked it up again today, and it felt like I just understood everything right off the bat, which was
really
awesome.
good.
So I'm definitely intrigued to see how much more is in the actual release, especially like talisman-wise, to augment what we've got going. There we go.
I think for talismans, it's maybe only a quarter, definitely less than a third, because this is only about half of the first region. But it's awesome to hear that, no, we were definitely big priority of, like, we want to have this movement, have it be all these options and all these, like, powerful sort of range of utilities, but also make it accessible.
Xenadir, could you introduce us to that friend real quick?
This friend?
Oh my
This
god, look
specific
at him.
friend? I have to pick up a phone first.
What an angel.
That's a big
just gonna-
fella right there.
I have to introduce
He has
the
very
problem. We have to
soulful
talk to
eyes.
him.
I like him quite a bit.
Hi.
Wow. What
Golly.
a gift.
That's a good friend.
Gorsh?
We'll talk to him in more detail when I'm not trying to race.
Fair.
Still a friend, though. I still talk to friends. All right, through here, I think I've about finished the first area almost.
Right.
There should be... Where are you? It's up there. Okay. I remember where to go now. I'm very intrigued to see who's going to end up finishing their first area first. Even though
Oh,
it's
I
like
did.
not comparable. You're already done? Okay.
Done.
All right, cool. That's
Done
about
with
what I
radio
expected.
towers.
All right.
I didn't like 100% it. Like I'm not.
Oh, you're not going for 100 every time?
No,
Okay.
if I
Well,
miss like
that's gonna
some
be the difference in
items,
strategy.
not like super. By items is the name of the currency in this game. I feel the need to.
Items, if you will.
Items,
Yeah, that's the best part.
It's punny.
Where am I missing this? Oh, it's the one in the... I remember now. Yep. Okay, been a while. What I like is that there's an item tracker because I'm definitely going to get lost a ton. I didn't have enough time to memorize this as much as I'd hoped because we're
Sure.
running production, but
Right,
like
yeah, we're a little busy.
still the fact that I picked it up did one full like quote unquote 100% on demo save and then was
Yeah,
able to
that's
pick it up
pretty
and remember plenty was
Yeah.
actually surprising to me. No, we're gonna try not to hit that. What's your timer at? You don't have the timer on. Okay, I can't look over and be like, how much? I can't cheat.
No,
Yeah, no screen looking.
Yeah.
No screen peeking.
Yeah.
I don't see anything stopping me.
Yeah, fun fact, in the, I want to say Super Nintendo Mario Kart, the little, like, booklet it comes with, it literally tells you should screen peek.
Wait,
That's
what?
pretty funny.
Screen peeking was an intended mechanic.
That's friendship right there. Oh, come on. I missed that again.
This makes me feel like Mario Party destroying friendships was an intentional design choice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like for sure.
I mean, I can't think of a better thing to spend money on. Especially Jamboree. But then Jamboree also added Sniffit as a playable character, so I'm friends with Sniffit now, and that's what matters.
Let's go sniff it.
Let's go Sniffit.
Be right back. I need to take my phone out to make one of those, like, friendship
end.
over
Yeah.
with. Friendship ended with Chatacabra. Sniff it, new
Oh
best
my
friend
God.
now.
Oh, actually, I can't even say never, because after yesterday when I beat up Chatacabra, this was the ones I was missing? Bruh. And where's the chest I'm missing? It's there. Okay, I remember now. There is a second area I have to go to port back into that one. And then it's not the most difficult parkour, but I definitely died on it a few times while testing the demo the first time, because I'm bad.
I love that, like, all these different areas look distinct,
Yes.
but also, like, clearly work together. Like, it doesn't feel disjointed,
Oh, come on.
but they're clear and it's, like, memorable.
It's,
Ben, I don't know how much you had a hand in that or if you have, like, a specific art person who did all of that, but do you want to
It's kind of collaborative with the, because there's, let's say probably 2 or 3
I got it.
people touching different parts of the art, and yeah, that was definitely a big focus of. We like having a theme and consistency. It's all like of a place, but yeah, you really need that variety and ways to stick out. Both like it gives your eyes a rest and nice just for the aesthetic side, but also helps to kind of like have levels stick in your mind, have their own theme and personality.
Yeah.
God, what was the one I liked the most? Honestly, I actually really did like Radio Towers FM the most. I don't know why.
I
think
really
it-
did too.
I think it was like Splatoon vibes kind of thing. Oh,
Yeah.
hello there.
Yeah, it's also just so like focused and straightforward.
in video.
Yeah.
It's like,
You know,
I think Radio Towers was our first or second level we ever built, and it's just like I have run through that thing probably hundreds of times
It's such a good
when
like,
testing.
speed island. Like it's just I was doing the what's it called, like the time trials like after you 100% islands, and like I think Radio Tower is my favorite one just because like it's such a refined run.
You were doing time trials? Oh no.
Yeah.
no.
That's
The fear in Zen.
yeah. Look, I don't play as many platformers as I wish I could, so I definitely feel like this is
Yeah,
Well, that was kind of how we
Less of a
tried to balance
competition
it.
than I
is
hoped.
Zen had like more days to prep.
That's true.
Bridgette has.
I have the mentality.
You've got that dog in you.
yeah, that's the accurate
No, what I was going to
descriptor.
say is Bridgette has more platformer experience, but sure,
I'm not
you've got
entirely
that
sure
dog
that's
in you.
true.
God, that dog in me. I feel like that's the most accurate descriptor. Or else you wouldn't be talking smack backstage while you're at it. Come on.
I gotta make it entertaining.
No, not the phone.
People came here for a show, Xenadir.
Ah, yes, we're here for the drama. That's my favorite part of the speedrunning culture.
Oh, yeah. There isn't enough of that.
This very much strikes me as the kind of game that... to be fair, I'm generally the kind of person who has to 100% a game, but this is absolutely the kind of game that, like, once I download it, I will not be able to rest until I have a platinum in it.
Well, it took me like a few hours, so
Yeah, a few hours.
You should be able to rest.
I think my file was about 3 hours of picking it up, putting it down, getting distracted, and then I think I'd finished like 4 of the islands in about 40 minutes on a quick read-through just to see how I was feeling. So, and that's just the demo.
Yeah.
You
said
there's-
Ben, this is what, like 25% probably of...
I'd say, so we have 3 total regions, so like each of these biomes, and this is probably a third or half of one of them.
Yeah, looks like about a
So,
third.
like maybe a 6th or 8th.
Wow.
Word.
That's a lot of content.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, mistakes were made. We kind of stopped paying attention. Suddenly the game got too big.
Oh.
You know, I think there's worse problems to
Yeah,
have.
it's like...
Uh-oh.
I get, as someone who works in tech, that scope creep is technically a problem. But as a gamer, I love scope creep because it means I get more content when it comes out.
No, what we often talk about on the team is like we have managed scope creep because that's also like inspiration. It's creativity. It's the part where like you just have a fun idea and you run with it.
Right.
And you need you want to lean into that, but also you want to make sure you can finish the game and like manage how sprawling it gets.
Yeah.
And still make sense in the greater whole.
You don't want a never-ending dev cycle? You're not into that?
We kind of just allow. It's like there's a faucet we turn off of. Just like it keeps on trickling throughout development until we get to a certain point of like, you know what? No, we need to stop. Pull back.
So does that mean you might potentially have ideas for more content in the future or another game kind of thing? Like there's stuff that has already had to be like, we probably should stop for now.
Well, first is probably we still actually then have stuff that creeps in of like, well, if we do this, but it's less. But then a lot of it does start to turn into like, what's something we might want to do with an update or a DLC.
Yeah, like throw in the DLC pile.
Of course, right.
Yeah, we have a pretty long list in our Trello of just like the different ideas we kind of want to explore based on what clicks for people.
Can I not fit through them? Oh.
We love the Trello board.
Oh.
There we go.
It actually lets all of the craziness of this game get organized.
Yeah.
Something vaguely coherent.
So this is the second game in the series, though. And the first one was a 2D platformer, am I correct? Or was it...
Yes and no. So
Yes, yeah.
it was a 3D platformer with characters kind of like Doom that were sprites.
Yes,
So
that's what I was thinking of. Thank you.
Yeah, so similar controls and some of the mechanics, but like a lot different than the aesthetics, and a lot of the mechanical stuff also gets changed or tweaked a little bit with the change to 3D as well.
And was there a particular reason you wanted to jump to full 3D with the team?
It just opened a lot of doors. So we kind of started before that even with a full 2D platformer, Slime Song, and shifted to 3D exploring that because it's a genre we loved and just wanted to try it out more with the last game, Demon Turf. But then some of that was leading into like some of the skills we already knew with the 2D, but then started to explore with what that was like mixing the two, and some of it was really cool. Some of it also was like technically challenging or didn't really work for certain things that we didn't realize at the time, that essentially this opened up a lot of doors of like parts we wanted to play with more, like the outfits, cutscenes, some of the physics and feedback of like your hair and cloth moving around.
Has there been a particular like favorite thing that has changed due to the shift to full 3D with the development of this game for you?
I think just how much we leaned into the combinatorial moveset. So like the first game had it, but it's when you're working with sprites, it's a lot more rigid of you need to work with, for how our system worked, having like 8 sprites for each facing to let the camera rotate around it, but then also whenever you had new action or movement, you had to have sprites associated with that, and that became quickly a lot to actually manage and keep up with, and just became too much time to produce those, versus it's a lot faster to iterate with the 3D. We can combine things or use other techniques like rigging to do sort of dynamic animation stuff. Just lets you have a lot more ability to kind of like have an idea and just experiment with like, what if we add a new reaction when you boost in this certain scenario that changes the moveset from what was there previously. So it just made it a lot more able to be like iterating and experimenting with it.
Word.
And you mentioned this was like a particular favorite genre. Do you have any specific favorites you'd like to mention that potentially inspired this, or?
Yeah, so, I mean, we played a lot of 3D platforms just on the team generally growing up. So, I mean, obviously Mario, and with the open world structure, Bowser's Fury kind of started our brains kind of firing off, thinking about it as a structure. But like a lot of Mario Sunshine for the vibes, a lot of Sonic that some of our team who grew up with Sega, like myself, have fond memories of Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 and going on the grind rails.
Good timing.
Radio, Cyberpunk, or not Cyberpunk, Cyberpunk.
Bomb Rush.
Limey and
Some
backstage.
I'm a Bomb Rush
that are
truther.
not as-
Game's so good.
I still need to try it. I love the Jet Set games, and others on my team have played Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, but I've yet to pick it up. Too many games.
Yay! We met so far my favorite character. Just that
Mr.
little
Mint.
guy. He's a little mint.
I was waiting to see when
Just
we
a mint.
finally run into Mint.
He's from the first game, and he is all of our most deranged, worst impulses that we could think to put into a character.
That is particularly inspired.
I love it.
You said all of your worst. Which part is yours?
True.
It's not there yet.
Oh, okay.
It's just like the stupid humor, the absurdity,
There
like,
he is. Hi, buddy.
being kind of
His
awful
pipe is leaking.
in a charming way.
By giving us
Lots
the
of
most
puns and
ridiculous.
just-
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I understand how that could be worse for some people. Love a good pun though. If it's
Love
a
to hate.
if it's a groaner, it's the right one.
Exactly. Like it gives me energy.
There we go. We've got the drip I needed. We have
go.
the fit. Specifically the one that we were talking about with the one leg.
drip.
Oh,
Let's
I've
do it.
I've been in that.
Yeah, that was like
where are you at?
Bridgette's
Stop.
first
Oh my
goal.
Oh, why do I not remember
I
where
goofed
he
that so
is?
hard.
You got the really hard jump before that too.
I know.
Oh,
I don't remember where he is. That's the problem.
Whatevs.
the minty boy.
Yes. Why do I not remember?
He's in his like little pocket dimension in here.
His little pocket.
Found it.
There you go.
So, are you confirming that Mr. Mint is an interdimensional time traveler?
With a top hat like
Pretty
that?
rad, actually. I'm kind
We
of
kind
about
of we sometimes drop deep lore. Like the story isn't the most like we are trying to tell the greatest narrative of all time, but we have little moments of like he's actually maybe kind of like an eldritch being that has strangely
I get
godlike
that.
powers, but also is just a little guy.
Just a guy.
He's just
Yeah.
hanging out.
Just a guy.
Just a dude.
I can't think of a
He's
better
utilizing those
horror.
eldritch powers to make a 3-dimensional hat fit on a 2-dimensional head.
And also, all of his expressions is just a piece of tape that he puts over where a mouth would be, that then he just draws different expressions on for smiles.
I
So-
did
I
it again.
love that.
This might be too deep of a cut, but it reminds me of that Game Grumps
Oh my god.
Power Hour when they have Jacksepticeye on and just put duct tape over his mouth and draw smiles and sad faces to
Go, go, go.
same vibes.
I cannot believe I just first tried that.
Let's go.
That took me so long. That was the one I was doing in the hotel room.
Yeah.
That was terrible when I was practicing it in there, and apparently that 2 days to make
Yeah.
everything click. I don't know how it happened.
It's almost like
Bless.
when you practice a
Right
thing,
grip.
you get better at the thing.
Or it's the drip, gives you a psychological buff.
Ooh,
That's
true.
hey,
true.
fashion is the true end game in every game. It definitely
Yeah.
does it.
True. That's why we play Monster Hunter. That's why
Monster
we
Hunter,
play Demon
Warframe,
Final
Demon
Fantasy,
Tides,
you
Dark
know,
Souls.
Tides,
yeah.
14. Yeah.
The list
Love
goes
drip.
on. I love character customization in every
please,
game
not again.
possible.
Oh,
I believe in the dream.
All right, I believe in you.
And you don't even need to skin anything.
Oh my god.
I should have believed less.
That's true. I do not need to carve the monster to get
Segment
the
is
grip in this
kicking
one.
my ass. That's
That's
true.
only if you enjoy it.
Can we? Will there be
Not when it's
feature to
shot
carve Mr. Mint at some point?
I was just gonna say. Yeah.
Why were you both on the
Carve Mr.
same? All right, there.
Well, what was it? Is there a Mr. Mint outfit?
Can you
yeah,
carve mint?
something like that.
Uh-oh. Sadly, no. I don't think we could handle that.
That's fair.
I
I'm
don't
not sure
think-
I could handle that.
Immortals
It's
on
not
this.
the psychological budget.
Psychological budget. That's good.
It's on everybody's Trello board. I have that budget.
I was just gonna say
Yeah.
the Trello board with the psychological budget. Then we've been hanging out too much this week. If we're making the same Trello board jokes,
Too much? Are you sure? I don't think it's too much. There we go.
Come on.
I believe in you.
I believe.
Those are genuinely like the
In the
really difficult levels, as they warn you. To be fair,
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, before you go into it, the game literally does say, "Hey, fair warning,
This is kind of hard.
it's gonna get kind of rough," which I really appreciate.
you
'Cause
mentioned the Mario
We got it.
Sunshine influence, and I was like, "Yep, that's
Oh.
those."
I feel like that's one of the things with open world games that sometimes becomes. So I have not played a Souls game yet, but I
Yet.
just started Elden Ring. And I was telling Zen, I'm like, one of the things that annoyed me about it is you walk out of that first area and the first person you see, you're clearly not supposed to fight. Like, he's way above your level right now.
It's
and
a
I'm
bait.
like, but it's like, it's kind of frustrating that your video game brain says like, oh, that's the first monster I've interacted with. I should fight it. But the game doesn't give you any indication that like, no, you shouldn't, other than just getting wrecked by
Yeah,
it.
that is
Oh,
the
yeah.
Souls
I mean,
formula.
the hour I spent on that, I don't know how clear it was to me when I first started. But yes, it is. I think it's also an important lesson to learn of. You maybe shouldn't fight everything you can.
Yeah.
Right away.
Yeah.
But I think that's something nice I've noticed in this game is like, in an open world, it's easy to keep trying something that you're not ready for, and that can
Right.
get frustrating. I feel like it's really nice for the
Yeah.
game to tell you like,
yeah.
hey, this is kind of like a late game world, or like it's going to take more skill than what you've done so far. So,
Sure. Oh,
you know, if you don't feel up
Whoa.
to it, maybe go explore a bit first. Like, it's nice to have those little checks along the way, so you're not just, you know, ramming your face into something
yeah.
and getting frustrated.
Yeah, just like getting tilted at it.
Right.
That's definitely part, like an aspect we're trying to make sure to keep in mind with the open world side of it. There's always something in the distance that if you are getting frustrated or like struggling with something, you can just jump away and explore something else. Or
Right.
having something like the Mint Void sections, which are definitely us trying to lean into the challenge more. Those feel more segmented and highlight as like, this is, you can pretty quickly start to build the sort of sense of like, this is where the more difficult content would be.
Yeah.
Something
Oh,
about
for
the
sure.
name, the Mint Void.
The mint
The
void.
Mint Void.
The terror it evokes.
This is what
Yeah.
it's like to chew 5 gum.
All right, you've unlocked comedy this day. Happy by 3. Congratulations.
I'm so glad.
Achievement unlocked.
I finally did it.
All right. While we have a moment, I feel like we haven't like really talked in depth about all the movement that happens here.
Yeah.
Beebs very specifically traverses through a lot of shapeshifting. If that hasn't been noticed, obviously the best is the snake form, little Snecko. That's pretty much
Sure.
our going fast Sonic-ish movement.
Yeah.
Damage boost me, thank you.
I have my left leg, this one right here, has tattoos from games that I speedrun at events. And usually I choose the game and then get the tattoo. But I think I chose the
opposed to what?
tattoo and then chose the game with this one because I want a tattoo of that little snake so much.
Little
But
And
this
I'm like,
little
maybe
guy?
I should speedrun the game so I can get the snake. He's so cute.
You don't have to justify it to yourself. You know, you can just do it.
That
Right?
sounds
You
have
could just do it.
You have free
Can I
will.
blurb that?
Yeah, for sure. I would be honored to be blurbed on the back of a box. That'd be awesome.
The snake has chosen you. Congratulations.
Chosen by Snack.
Aside from just the snake form, though, we also have this spin form, I believe it's technically called.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I was like, what
spin,
is
which
this?
lets you hover, the bat, which lets you double jump.
Yeah.
All of them had more reasonable names. That I think spin was just very much we were just utilitarian minded and just stuck.
Right.
My
What does the form do?
favorite animal / monster, spin.
Spin.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine sauce moment. There we go.
It just covers up the fact that it also kind of has bat wings. So I've always wondered, like, oh, they're all both a little, they're a little bat, you know,
Spinny bat.
drill bat.
Is there a movement form that is not in the demo but will be in the full game
Excellent
that you
question.
are like particularly hype about?
Yes and no. So I'd say there aren't any forms that aren't in the demo.
Okay.
So
Oh,
in the
okay.
last game, we did have like additional abilities you unlocked, and like the snake form, for instance, was one that actually you get as the second ability.
Oh.
But here we want to have them all available at the gate,
Which I love.
It felt better.
That's
for
awesome.
Moveset,
Yeah.
lets you have a lot more options. But then you get these talismans that open up more options that modify or extend or enhance some of these features. And one, in addition to that, each region has what we call opticas, which are basically a secondary version of those different demon forms that change up the behavior, and you have talismans that let you use like a slightly more balanced version of those in any level, since they're normally like level power-ups. So one would be like the bat turns into kind of like a boost you can do in any direction. The spin turns into a hook shot that lets you grapple to different walls.
Oh, I think that
We
was
love a hook shot.
That's
Yep,
pretty cool.
So that's also available when later on in the game when you can get the talismans that also let you unlock it for other areas.
Heck yeah.
I walked right past it. Was the hook shot in the demo? I feel like I picked something up to that regard.
I think that's the second region, so I don't think so.
I know the paraglider's in.
Yes.
I feel like that's a really,
Which that's
really...
I guess kind of an ability. That's true.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That feels like such a smart way to handle, though, that balance between, like, it feels kind of bad to be in an open world, but they're like, well, actually, though, you can't explore anywhere you want because you don't have all the abilities. It feels like a really smart way to balance that of, like, you do have everything, but then there's, like, iterations and upgrades on those things to find throughout.
All right.
Yeah. Which, like, I love Metroidvania, so that's also a design
Same.
sort of style I can get behind, but
Yeah.
it doesn't feel right, at least from how we were feeling about for this game. Like, an open world, you want to have that freedom to kind of explore, and you're
Sure,
probably not going to
sure.
be circling back around the same way or keeping track on, like, as tight a layer as, like, with Metroidvania.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's valid. I see that.
Sorry, I'm starting to get really focused.
Yeah,
locking
I'm
in.
locking
I'm
in
starting
right
to get
now.
to that point because I'm like, wait,
getting nervous.
I don't think this is very even. I have no actual idea.
You have
True,
no
I really
idea
don't
where you're
either.
at, yeah.
That's bad. Come on. I know I'm missing the mint for one, and I know where it's at. It's getting there because I don't know the efficient route, but I'm over it in a moment. Come here, friend. Nope. All right. Rough. That's fine.
That hurt.
I'll just do it again.
That hurt my Ron feelings.
I know you're up there. That one took me a while to find in this specific level, though. I don't know why. Eventually, I noticed a character A-posing in the distance. I was like,
Huh?
I wonder if that's it. And it wasn't him, but he was right next to it, which I thought was even funnier, personally. It's better that I can't see our minty friend until he's ready to be found.
Yeah.
It's like Waffle House. He knows what
But
I need.
even
It's like
unseen is-
Waffle
He knows
House?
what you need. He's like Waffle House. He knows what you need better than you
The
do.
most
That's so
inside
true.
backstage joke.
But it's not. Any human being who's been to Waffle House knows the vibe.
Well, this was my first time going since I've been at MomoCon, so shout out.
Yeah, I'm so glad I got to introduce you to Waffle House this week. It was a gift.
Oh, no!
And I didn't get into a fight.
Heartbreaking.
true.
How did I do
Is it
this
even a Waffle
twice?
House then?
That's so true.
I was at MomoCon 10 years ago, and
Really?
that was
Whoa.
my first Waffle Con.
WaffleCon?
Oh, wait, let's go Waffle Con.
Yes.
Oh, no.
We were considering or talking about pitching a this is the stupidest thing, Waffle House how to punch panel. Just I don't know why that keeps coming up.
Specifically, I need a
How to
panel
throw a
on
punch.
how to like.
Waffle
Hey, there are
select
proper
a
ways.
chair.
Oh, my God, of
How to
course.
parry a chair, yeah. I know the
Cherry?
That
specific.
seems like good synergy.
Can
and
I
sponsorship.
please
Sorry,
get a
Zen.
waffle?
Cherry?
It's fine. I like a good pun. I promise. I have failed this 3 times now.
Why aren't you just wall running?
Because I'm stupid and impatient. I see movement opportunities that require me to go fast. I'm gonna mess something up while I continue stubbornly trying. Okay.
Fair and reasonable.
It's not about being good. It's about being flashy.
Go fast as opposed to do it right.
I mean, the most efficient work ethic.
No, you can't reference that.
And in a Petersonian sense.
Petersonian said.
Petersonian.
All right, we're gonna do it.
Really glad somebody got that. And
Oh,
that
yeah.
didn't just fall flat.
Oh my god.
How could we not?
I'm not
Worst
waiting
speedrun
for those.
inside joke. Thank you. Zen, if you didn't, when you skipped the first one, I was actually about to get, like, friend angry. Like,
I understand.
you know that specific
understand.
kind of, like, I love you, but you're such an idiot angry?
Yes, me at myself constantly.
Oh no! I agree.
Me at my cat constantly.
That's true. That's me and my dog all the time.
Aw, babies.
That's why I
He's
sing
such an
songs
idiot.
about how
I love
stupid
it.
they are. It makes me feel better about how stupid they are.
Do you have a specific song you sing to your pets?
Oh,
Literally
boy, oh,
pick a
boy.
song and I will replace the words with, like, Willow is so little
It's not
and
hard.
dumb and cute.
All right. Do you have like someone in the office who's definitely the best at like speedrunning this game or
True.
the movement in general? Someone to shout out or show off?
Yeah, you said the movement expert from a development standpoint is kind of a shared role, but who's the movement expert from a performance standpoint?
Yeah.
That's what.
Performance standpoint. So we have some speedrunners from the last game that have basically graduated into kind of being QA beta testers. So probably them. But then following that would be Fabian, who's
Let's go.
the sort of main studio head and runs like the Fabraz account online, and he's the one who does a lot of like the numbers tweaking and gets into the zone with the movement.
Nice. That's super cool. Like, we talk all the time. I rarely get to say this directly to the dev, but I feel like we talk all the time
Open the chest.
in speedrunning about how, like, devs who connect with their speedrunning communities and do right by them are, like, very, very appreciated. And so, like, it's really cool to hear y'all are, like, taking your community and giving them the opportunity to, like, help create the next game, and that's really awesome.
Oh, of course. I mean,
Pretty
like, we are hugely appreciative of all the time and energy and
Not bad.
care speedrunners and other players have been putting in the game. And also, I think there's a lot to be said for
There's the paraglider.
it's like Death of the Artist stuff of like,
Yeah.
we have a perspective on the game, but that's different from other players and the different modes you get into when playing a game. And like, we want to make sure it's good for different kinds of players, like casual or speedrunners. But yeah, like they'll have some really important insights that are good to take into account when we're working on it.
Yeah.
And also figuring out like what are the parts that are worth
yourself
changing,
sometimes.
fixing, but also keeping what's actually important for the run too.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I feel like sometimes it's hard to separate yourself from how much you love a thing when you're a creative, and I'm sure there's things in a game that you're like, this is my baby and I love it so much. And it's good to get an outside perspective to be like, here's ways you could tweak it, or maybe it just doesn't work here, or, like.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not always an easy one, but it's important, especially like even I'd say just like we're a team of 5 and going through that process, even just individually for our creative process, like is important too.
Right.
Like you're collaborating, you're working together, and it's no single person's individual game at that point. Like it's a conversation, it's a collaboration between everyone, and there's parts that will resonate more or less, or that feel like some middle ground or compromise or synergy between those different perspectives.
I actually did that the intended way this time. Initially, I hopped over from the wrong side when I first found that area.
Oh,
All right, what am I in my 4th area now? I've done both mint levels. I'm proud of that. 'Cause they're-
Hi.
let's go.
And a lot better than I did in my first attempts, which is really, really good. I think the first one I did first try, and the second one I think it took 2 or 3 and I got it, which is honestly really good.
Yeah.
I like those levels just because they remind me so much of Mario Sunshine, and that's the
It is very
Hot
Mario
take,
Sunshine, isn't
and
it?
not intended to be like, oh my god, the
Right.
rest suck. That is literally the only 3D Mario I like. And I'm not saying those are bad, it's just to my preference. And also, I played it when I was growing up and a lot more open to other things.
Fair.
I love Sunshine to death.
It's a great game.
Sunshine's great.
Wholeheartedly
Same.
agree.
Oh,
100%.
100.
We're big Sunshine fans on the team.
Let's go. I'm not
As you
alone.
should be.
As compared to one of our hosts, love her, Ash said hi,
Oh,
hates
Ash.
Sunshine for some reason.
Get her out
I
of
don't
here.
know
We
what's
just
up
talked
with
about
that.
this on our team too, of like it's very contentious for people, and like I can kind of get it. There's some mechanical differences and choices
Yeah.
that can make it a little clunkier, but like
Yeah.
it's just such a great vibe. It's such a good setting.
To be fair, her beef with it is the camera, and like I
That is a
love
valid
Sunshine,
beef.
but I can agree the camera.
Yeah.
It's of its time. It's like that terrible Kingdom Hearts 1 camera.
Oh, God.
Which you would know personally right
Yeah,
now.
I
really
just
would.
finished my first playthrough ever of a Kingdom
Oh
Hearts
my
game,
gosh.
which was Kingdom Hearts 1. Well, I haven't finished yet. I
I
should.
was say I thought you were close to.
I
that.
tried to finish before I left, and I did not finished the boat fight because I
most
needed
important
to
fight.
pack and
It is, yeah,
go to bed.
big deal.
But I'm almost finished with Kingdom Hearts 1. But yeah, the camera is very of its time and reminds me of the Sunshine camera in how it like you try to set it to a certain angle and it's like, no, you want this angle instead. And you're like, I really don't, but thanks.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
It's okay.
I guess.
We know what you want, not what you need. It's always coming back to that.
And the camera solves neither.
Yeah.
Nope.
Weirdly gives me neither option, which is impressive.
That's what you need.
It's nothing. It's like I'm not gonna try and remember his name and embarrass myself. Gene Wildman, maybe. The Willy Wonka. You get nothing.
Oh yeah, Gene Wilder.
Yep.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
Wilder.
Gene, yeah.
Yep.
It's
Yeah, you're thinking the Digimon version of him.
Gene Wildman.
Oh my god.
Gene Wildman
Get outta
as
here.
a unlockable character in Demon Tides 1.
Good.
Oh no.
Lord.
At least the top hat. Oh
Yeah.
my god, what have we
Who do you
created?
think Mr. Mint's secret identity is?
Let's say-
Mr. Min has been
We have-
Gene
Where do you think he
Wildman
got the
all
top
along.
hat?
We've created a new Eldritch Horror, or at least we've discovered a further identity of the one that exists.
Now, did Mr. Mint steal the top hat or murder the Gene Wildman?
It's a great.
It's more of a singularity situation.
Okay.
Wonka discovered the
Oh.
darker side of candy, known as mints,
Oh.
and then it was only downhill from there.
It's like,
Oh,
what if hard
jeez.
candy didn't taste good? Welcome to my new invention.
This is the most beautifully unhinged conversation I've
What
had.
if
Well,
not
Yeah.
candy but pain?
That's all candy, realistically, once you get to a certain age.
That's true.
Come on.
As a diabetic, sad, yeah.
Aw.
Sad. You're like, yeah, I get it.
I feel like I'm wasting time here. I don't remember where
Relatable.
these pieces
So
are.
what it's worth, runners, we are under the 5-minute mark.
Yeah. I keep
Oh.
staring at that timer.
Oh.
You are, if you're trying to get some last items, something that feels like it's going to take a while might not be the play.
Yep, I'm just gonna go for
Wait, I need to go catch a fish.
items at this point.
Yeah, fishing minigame?
Fishing
Is-
minigames
there's a-
are the best.
There's a fishing minigame in this game?
No, I don't.
Well, there's
No,
a great
sorry.
example of when we had to rein in the scope creep.
Actually, Laura,
You said that exactly
Love
seriously enough that
scope
it could have
creep.
been a joke and it could have been sincere,
that's
and I'm
another one
scared of that.
finished. All right, where am I missing?
Yeah.
Ah.
Joke.
What would you say? Is
Honestly,
the,
it's a very thin line between when it actually starts as a joke and then actually creeps into being genuinely a design
Yeah,
choice.
suddenly the
That's a-
Trello board is
very
like
fine
fishing
line.
minigame.
there's the crow's nest I was talking about.
Yeah, I
again.
found it
You did
this
Awesome.
time,
Yeah,
kind of unintentional,
Just random
but-
little hidden area, and I'm
Yeah.
like, hello, Wind Waker.
Yeah.
Love
Oh my
that.
gosh.
Yep. Yeah. Guilty.
That's one of my
Let's go.
favorite
Doesn't
things
Tingle live
too about
One of them.
I love when open world games do that, where like there's just little stuff that isn't necessarily story necessary, doesn't give you like a huge upgrade or anything, but like you can just stumble upon stuff out in the great open sea.
The Great Beyond. Yeah.
It's so fun.
The Great Open Sea.
Yeah. That's one of the things we really lean into with the change in structure was like we have core, we kind of structure as like there's core levels, like the main gameplay, and then there's like smaller micro ones that are just kind of like a little slice of things, and then we have just gameplay free islands like that where it's just more for narrative or vibes or aesthetic. And it's just something like it lets you have a moment or a vibe just to sit it with for a bit.
I only found that on my quick, like, 40-minute replay through. I was like, how did I miss this the first time? Where was this? And immediately, yeah, like I said, I was like, oh, this is Wind Waker. This is beautiful. I
Yeah.
love that for us.
It is.
No,
It's
no,
beautiful.
don't fall.
No!
I didn't even know I could do that.
Friend, come back.
Get it. Come on.
Oh.
No!
Hello? All right. Oh, no. All right, well, we're just going to move on.
You could try spinning
I
on
was
it.
to say, I think I'm going to have to
with
dunk it with the
That
spin.
is a cool trick.
Oh yeah, also you can ram into it with the snake form. That should break it.
Gotta actually build speed to do that instead of just trying to walk in front of it and say, hey, break.
Please break.
Hey, I'm just going to
I have to
ask you
see
nicely.
if my systems actually play nice with all of this.
Interesting. Here, right, here we go. There we go. We did get it.
Nice.
As the devs intended.
Oh.
Thank you for the hint. I needed it. All right. Hopefully, you think we're doing at least a decent job of showing off the game that's at play here. I'm like super
Oh,
afraid I'm not
absolutely. I mean-
doing the best here.
Oh no, this is excellent. And if anything, like there's symmetry. I think one of you starting on the last island potentially is where the other players started on the first.
Are these intended to
Oh,
be
actually-
played in order?
the radio tower is kind of lightly considered the first level. Just 'cause
Sure,
we kind
I
of
could
point
see
to
that.
it.
Yeah.
Like, we give you a direct call out to go there, and it's kind of the simplest, but other than that, not at all.
Word.
Like, there's probably some fluctuation in difficulty between them, but that's one of the things where, like, we had to change a lot of how we were trying to approach it from the last game, which has
Sure.
a little bit more structure to it of, like, instead stuff like the mid-void zones are where suddenly, like, you can have those escalations instead.
Word.
I'm so hopeful I can finish this in time. I want to finish.
I
Radio Towers.
believe.
Come on, friend. There we go.
You are
1
zooming.
of 2.
Oops.
We're very limited on time.
Yeah, I can't.
So close. All right, I've got all the items here. Come on. Where is that chest?
Uh-oh.
There.
Is that, it's what,
Come on.
39,
39,
17
come
on
on.
yours? Oh.
Demo finished.
Really?
What? Let's
Well
go.
done.
Let's go.
Whoa.
I wasn't sure I could do it in the 40.
Is that a new
That's
That's
pretty
a
unreal.
PB.
demo 100%?
Hell no.
PB?
This ain't 100%. I'm definitely missing something.
You definitely beat me.
Let's
I'm
go.
not. I'm nowhere near 100%ing this thing.
Wow.
That's unreal.
Oh my god, I can't believe I actually got the cutscene. Continue playing, please. All right, now we'll have the
So calling
opportunity.
you behind it.
Is there anything you know of that I missed in the demo?
Yeah, might as well show it off now.
No, so like it technically can pop up with a few things remaining, but you, I think, did pretty much everything in terms of core collectibles then.
That's awesome. Dang, Zen.
Yeah.
Crow's Nest, campsite. Altar of Hands is the only thing we can't really interact
yeah, our,
with.
our
so.
tease of an island.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I got one. And I tried following it out, and then, no, you need to go back. I was like, okay.
We've had lots of people asking, like, what's going on? Why can't I do it? It's like, well, it's telling you there's more, but we don't. This is the full game.
Why would you tease me like that? I need more now.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
It is. It's just also, how dare you? Thank you, how dare you?
Yes,
All right, well.
I get it.
That was the 40-minute timer.
Yeah.
We do got to keep things moving, so I think, wow.
That was super impressive, Zen.
GG.
I did not think you were going to finish it.
I thought I was
That's
behind
really
you
impressive.
for quite a while there, especially after the abysmal start.
I was doing really
3
good for a
times
minute
trying to
there,
get
and
mid.
then I forgot where all the gear pieces were on the what's this island called? Where am I?
I know your in-game timer,
Yes,
Zen, was
On
like
Sunken Neighborhood. and that was-
39.17, but it was
tanked.
even more hype down here because it was 39.57 when you finished it. So I was like, is it going to happen?
That's hype.
I feel very satisfied today.
All right, I'll
well,
donate
hey,
$100.
$100
Awesome.
incoming money match.
Thank you so much, folks,
yeah.
for hanging out.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun.
Y'all want to do any shout-outs or anything?
I want to say shout out Ben for being here on comms.
Yeah,
It's
seriously.
Really, really awesome to have a dev to chat with, and this was some of
Yeah.
the best, most unhinged conversation of the event so far.
Yeah, weirdly.
Mission accomplished.
I've
You know,
had
mission
Thanks for having me.
task
This was
failed
a lot of fun.
successfully.
I've had devs on commentary before, and rarely are they so good at yes-anding.
Yes,
Yeah.
Like-
exactly.
It's true.
I'm like, oh, Ben's like just a genuinely funny person.
Yeah.
That's why this game is like
This is
fun and funny.
Yeah,
Good people behind
it's
the
witty.
game, huh?
It's cute.
Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you.
It's awesome.
And also, thank you for contributing to probably what will be further deep lore for Mr. Min.
Hooray!
I'm so
I would
excited.
be-
for
I don't care that I
Wildemon.
lost. That's
Honored.
my honor there.
We have our
really.
metatextual wiki. Just we keep tabs.
That's awesome.
Wow, what a part of the lore we're going to become.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, I'm excited for the full release of the game. What is the release date again?
We have not announced it.
Okay,
Oh,
cool. I'm not
looking
crazy.
at end of 2025.
Okay, that's
We'll see.
So I
soonish.
just have the demo.
Trello
Soon adjacent.
notwithstanding.
early
course,
enough,
yes, we-
early enough to submit to AGDQ 26.
There you go. That's
I haven't
exactly. I'm
picked
like,
my 5 submissions yet.
so we're racing.
All right,
Money match.
I'm in. Yeah, we'll race it.
Yeah, you
Awesome.
two do it now.
Oh gosh, what are we going to come up with for that for one? All right, well, thank you all so much for tuning in.
Yeah,
We
thanks for
sincerely
watching.
appreciate it. Ben, thank you so much for being here, and thank you, Demon Tides, for helping support Momentum
Yeah.
2025 as we raise money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Rocks.
We're going to take a quick break. We've got some fun coming up before we get to the next run of
Yeah.
Splatoon 3, so look forward to it.
Oh yeah.
See you soon.